At first glance, this painting looks completely ordinary, just another portrait of a beautiful young lady with her little pet. But there's more to it than meets the eye. In today's video, we're going to tell you all about it. So without further ado, let's get right into it. This painting, called Lady with an Ermine, was painted by Leonardo da Vinci between 1489 and 1490 when he was working as a court painter for Ludovico Sforza, the Duke of Milan. Ludovico was a powerful and ambitious ruler who wanted to enhance his prestige and influence by patronizing artists, scholars, and engineers. For that reason, he hired Leonardo to create various projects, such as a monumental equestrian statue, a canal system, and a musical instrument. A notable commission made by Leonardo for Ludovico includes Lady with an Ermine as well. First, let's talk about what we see in the painting. The subject of the portrait is Cecilia Gallerani, a young and beautiful woman who was actually Ludovico's mistress. Cecilia is portrayed in a three-quarter pose and appears to be looking over her left shoulder at the viewer. Something seems to have caught her attention. It could have been someone passing by her, or maybe a bird fluttering near the window of the room. Her eyes are dark and expressive, conveying a mixture of emotions. Does she look melancholic? Attentive? Maybe both. Her lips are slightly parted, suggesting that she is about to speak or smile. Her hair is dark brown and is held in place by the help of a delicate veil of transparent fabric with a golden border and a black ribbon. Her neck is adorned with a delicate necklace of pearls, a symbol of elegance and wealth. Her dress is dark blue with simple but a fine texture and a golden brooch. Cecilia was not only attractive but also intelligent, cultured, and witty. Being an avid reader, she was well versed in poetry, music, and philosophy as well. She used to host literary salons at her residence and was also involved in the political affairs of the court, acting as an intermediary between Ludovico and his allies. One of the many reasons she was also admired by Leonardo himself. Furthermore, in the painting, we can see that she appears to be holding gently but firmly an ermine in her slender hands. The suggestive hand gesture recurs in Leonardo's later composition, Leda and the Swan as well. The animal appears too large to be considered an actual ermine, but is still regarded as one. It is white and fluffy, with a black-tipped tail and a curious expression. It looks at the viewer as if it is aware of being a part of the portrait. The contrast between the dark background and the light foreground creates a dramatic effect, highlighting the figures of the lady and the ermine. The painting is a masterpiece of realism, detail, and harmony. It does leave the viewer to wonder though, why is it an ermine that was included in the painting and not a cat or perhaps a dog? It is suggested that the ermine follows the meaning of an ermine or weasel in classical literature, where it relates to pregnancy, sometimes as an animal that protected pregnant women. Around the time when the painting was being made, Cecilia was known to be pregnant with Lucavito's illegitimate son. Several scholars have also pointed out the fact that the Greek word for ermine is Gael. Thus, it is a play on Cecilia's surname, which was Gallerani. In addition to that, many art critics believe that the ermine with its soft white fur coat is a symbol of purity. Leonardo himself wrote that the ermine prefers to die rather than lose its purity. By holding an ermine, Cecilia may be suggesting that she is pure and virtuous, despite being a mistress. She may also be implying that she is loyal and faithful to Ludovico, and that she would rather die than betray him. The ermine also represents wisdom and power, qualities that Ludovico wanted Cecilia's portrait to display. The ermine was also said to be very intelligent and cunning, able to escape traps and predators with its agility. Leonardo was fascinated by the ermine's natural abilities and studied it in his scientific observations. Cecilia, by holding an ermine, may have shown that she was wise and clever and felt connected to nature. It may have also suggested that she was aware of the dangers and intrigues of the court and that she knew how to protect herself and Ludovico. The ermine was also the heraldic animal of Ludovico Sforza, who was nicknamed Il Moro. Many people also hold the view that the picture of the ermine is a representation of Ludovico instead. The ermine represents his ambition and an aspiration to become the king of Italy, as he claimed to be a descendant of the Sforza family, who had a coat of arms with an ermine on a blue field. Cecilia, by holding an ermine, may have expressed her support and admiration for Ludovico's political goals. She may have also asserted her own status and influence as his favorite mistress and confidante. Many also believe that the portrait represents the relationship between him and Celia, even though it ended before the painting was even finished. The first mention of the portrait was found in a sonnet by the court poet Bernardo Bellincioni, in which he said it looks like Cecilia is listening to someone who is not visible. More evidence regarding the matter was found in a letter between Cecilia and Isabella d'Este, the Marchioness of Mantua. In her letter, the Marchioness asked Cecilia to send her the portrait so that she could see how Leonardo's work compared to that of other masterful painter, Giovanni Bellini. With the help of this evidence, we find that even though Ludovico paid for the painting, Cecilia kept it. The painting was a showcase of Leonardo's artistic talent and innovation, but also of his restless exploration and experimentation. He used the painting as an opportunity to try new methods and concepts, such as the use of oil paint on walnut wood panels, the creation of light and shadow effects, the portrayal of emotional expression, and the inclusion of realistic elements. He also used the painting as a model for his later works, such as La Belle Farinere and Mona Lisa, one of his most appreciated masterpieces. It is interesting to note that the painting led to different consequences for different people. It had a significant impact on both the personal and the public lives of both the protagonists. For Celia, it was a source of happiness and pride, but also of sadness and remorse. She treasured the painting as a souvenir of her love affair with Ludovico, but she also had to deal with the fact that he had another wife, Beatrice d'Este, who was younger and more powerful than her. For Ludovico, personally, it was a gift of love and admiration and love for his mistress, even if they had a falling out. However, it served a greater purpose for him as well. Not only did it show his wealth and taste, but was also used as a tool for his propaganda. He used it to impress his allies and intimidate his enemies. Ludovico also entered the chivalric order of the Ermine, so it may have been a reference to Ludovico's patronage. Legend has it, Ludovico postponed the marriage more than once, allegedly because he was in love with Cecilia. However, by the time Leonardo finished the portrait, Ludovico and Beatrice were married. Cecilia eventually fell out of Ludovico's grace, especially after she bore him a son in 1491. Cecilia had to leave the Duke's palace after he married Beatrice. She then attracted another man who was surprisingly also named Ludovico, Count Ludovico Carminati de Bumbria, also called Il Bergamino. Guess she had been fated to marry a Ludovico after all. She had 4 more children with the second Ludovico. However, she held on to the painting until her death in 1536. After Cecilia's death, the painting passed through Cecilia's heirs until it landed in the collection of a noble Polish family who traveled widely in Italy through the 1700s. The Czartoryski family carefully protected the picture, moving and hiding it during the instability of Russian threats of the 19th century, and then again during World War I, and then later recovered in World War II as well. Later in 2017, it was put on public display at the National Museum of Krakow, where it now inspires visitors from around the world and is considered as one of Poland's national treasures. Click on any of the 2 videos on the screen right now for more content.